LDM Show right here on Nightline Radio today. And it's Thursday. We have a good show going on today. We have Jopaul in the house, so you're going to get to see his video Party Started. So that's his video. And if you guys have not seen him, he was at the Music in the Gardens. He blasted that out there. So that's pretty good. Today, we're going to have the segment called Speak Out. There's a couple things I want to talk about that's been happening in the news and other stuff that's going on within life as well and everything else. But as for me, my guest co-host Jose, he's out right now doing some modeling, shooting, and some interviews out in the streets today. So hopefully he'll come back next week. He'll have some good stuff to say. So he might be calling in. You don't know, but Jose, hope you're doing good out there and trying to do your little interviews or whatever you have to do, and also your modeling shots today. So as for me, it's been a blast this whole weekend. I got to hang out with the Bronx Borough President, Ruben Diaz Jr., Supreme Judges, the District Attorney, and it felt good to be back into the law field again. Will I ever go back? And it just felt good, I said. I didn't say I was going to be there for good. But it did feel good to be with them, talk about cases, and, other things like that. So we were at the 161st Street called Day of Remembrance, when we were remembering all the fallen from the 9/11 from the Twin Towers. So, and then I got to meet some of the family from those victims of the tower. So that was pretty good as itself. And other stuff that was happened in 9/11 is still 15 years later, and we're still talking about it and trying to figure out what went wrong. I don't ever think we ever going to find out what went wrong. It's just something that happened because of anger, misunderstanding. One's calling another person a terrorist. The other person's calling another one a terrorist. Because actually, who is the terrorist? Them attacking us, or we were attacking them? Did we become the terrorists after that? So it's an up field that I really don't understand that much, that things are going on. Was it a terrible tragedy? Yes, indeed. We lost a lot of people, especially the youngest one being 3 years old. That's baby didn't even start his life, so that's very hard. But it was a day of remembrance. It was 9/11. Everybody was and still is going to be remembering. But you know what a cool fact is? It's 15 years later. Some of the freshmen or sophomore that are starting school this whole week, depending on what school they're going to, but they was not even born. And now the schools are going to be teaching that in the schools. So they're going to be showing the kids what happened. So that's good. I applause out to them for doing that. So it's a good thing that they did that as well, because it happened 15 years ago. So the kids are under 15, doesn't even remember the tower unless they're watching a movie. And they're hearing it from everybody else. I think that was one day that no matter what you were doing, you could have been showering in the bathroom, sleeping, whatever you were doing, you will remember it just like the blackout in the 80s. Everybody remembers that one moment. That's the same thing that happened there. But again, that was from the 9/11, a day of remembrance. So again, thank you for having me there. It's not the last time we're going to see the Bronx Borough President. I know there's works going on talking. The Bronx Borough President might be on one of our segments called Behind the Mic. Check that out. So that's going to be a crazy thing. He is actually going to be there. So that's kind of cool for that to happen. And also, I want to give a shout out to Young Truth, Kyrie, Leron Entertainment, the publishing company, for inviting me yesterday to be with Corey Feldman and all the rest of the people out there. That was like so unreal. I was hanging with Corey Feldman, and at first, I'm not gonna lie, I was like, he a diva. He don't want to really talk to nobody. But then after a while, we sat down, we started talking. It was cool. The interview was kind of too loud, so like footage-wise is okay, but sound-wise, the sound system wasn't that good, so it was picking up a lot of the noise. So we making arrangements to have him as well on the segment called Behind the Mic. So instead of doing a 10-minute conversation, we're going to probably do a whole 30 minutes. So that's pretty cool. I like that. I like that part, doing the whole 30 minutes with Corey Feldman and find out about when he was out of childhood. His song is still #1 in the charts. Check it out. He's with Snoop Dogg. So that's pretty cool out there. So, being with Snoop Dogg and having all of his downfalls and his ups, through his whole life, I give it up. I like that, pretty much. But let's hit the news real quick. This is a quick thing of Speak Out where I'm a little pissed off and I can actually say what I want to say. If you have a vote, just call if you think you want to talk. JetBlue. A lot of people take that airplane. What's that? I think last time I went to Florida, it was like $98 both ways. They had a special. JetBlue this, JetBlue that. But did you know that JetBlue lost a child? People didn't know that, huh? They lost a 5-year-old returning home from Santo Domingo. And they, and I say Santo Domingo for the other people that don't understand, our people. It's Dominican Republic, okay, just in case. But they lost him. And he ended up, guess where? In Boston, 214 miles away from his destination. He wound up there in Boston. And his mother, 38, said she thought he was kidnapped. Called the cops and everything, you know how it is. It probably got chaotic, running around, and people looking. And then they find out he was on the wrong plane and wind up in Boston. So JetBlue, I don't know. You just got to clue. JetBlue said that clueless JetBlue staffers, meanwhile, had presence that a different 5-year-old boy was in the plane. So you had a boy that's 5 years old on your plane that you don't even have on your schedule. Then the other plane that's supposed to have a 5-year-old boy was not there that's supposed to be on the schedule. So no one said anything. I know I heard of lost your luggage, but lost your kid? I don't know about that. That's a shocking thing. But we'll find out about that. But also, in sports, the Steelers, one of the Steelers thing gave a 75 cent tip. Now, would you ever in your life give a $75 a 75 cent tip? I'm sorry, I said $75, but a 75 cent tip. Well, he did, and he got a bash about it on social media. The waitress said, "Oh, he has all this money. Williams leaves me 75 cents," and turns out to be that the reason why he left 75 cents is because he had to wait hours for his food. He didn't have a refill on his drink. The person was supposed to bring the refill, didn't bring a refill. Took his long time to bring the food. Food was, the whole thing was terrible. But my question is, will you ever give a 75 cent tip? I'll tell you, me, heck to the yes. You're getting matter of fact, I don't even know if I would leave a tip if I got to wait for all that. You're working for tips, basically. So I don't really care. And I know some people probably be like, oh, but they're working for tips. Give them something. They're working for tips as they do their jobs. So the tip is based on your job. If you're terrible, it's like a rating system. I rate you from 1 to 10. That's how much money you're going to get. Well, I guess he rated her maybe like 2, 3 because gave her 75 cents. But the good thing about it, the manager seen it and already explained to her way before that was not a way to do business and a way to treat. But since she went and did the tweet, and then he came back with it, she lost her job. So now you lost a job that was giving you 75 cents a table to have no cents a table. Does that mean you have no sense? Next time you'll have some sense and not be putting stuff up on Twig and stuff like that. So you got to be a little bit more careful on what are you doing. So I just say, watch out. Watch out what you're going to do. But also, let's get to one of the stories of sexiness, what I like to say. One sexy... back here to the LDM Show. I'm your host, Charles Laloma. And like I said, you've been watching some of the music videos that were popping up. Before we went to commercial break, we had to get the party started. And the only reason why we get the party started is because of my host, the one and only Jopaul is in the house right now.
Yeah, what up, everyone? Appreciate you having me, Charles. LDM Show, all your listeners. What up? We here to party.
Oh, yeah. Get the party started. You sung in our event, Music in the Gardens. Real hot. I had the privilege.
It was hot there.
Yeah, it was.
My God, it was like 115, no lie.
Yeah, and then we were on the stage.
I legitimately lost 5 pounds that day.
You know, so funny, we were at the stage, covered, and the sun was hitting us. It was crazy.
You know what it is? I think it was all the artists with all the heat that we were bringing to the table.
Oh, my God.
I think that contributed.
You guys did a so heck of a job that the Garden wants us back, but I told them the only way we can come back if we do it at 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon to the evening.
Agreed.
Which is better.
Agreed.
Because I had the privilege to be on the stage with you and we were like, get that party started. And I'm like, wow, that was only like 20, 30 seconds. And that was it. And I was burning.
I didn't have to go to the gym that day. I took my calorie content afterwards. I was like, wow. I was like, I lost like legitimately 5 pounds in sweat. So
maybe we can market we can market that as an exercise thing.
Absolutely.
There.
As long as I get 10% for it, that's all I want.
Right. But Jopaul, this new song, we just seen the video, Get That Party Started. What made you want to come out with something like that?
I mean, who doesn't want to party? I mean, the music game is so saturated now with a lot of hateful stuff and, degrading people and just really of no substance. So, I mean, when it comes to, I know, partying, that's what a lot of people in my genre of music and like the pop dance world speak about. But literally, that's what I like to do. I mean, I love the party aspect. I mean, I've been partying for years, as far as, going out to the clubs, dancing. And originally it started because I was a break dancer and I lived to go out to, to showcase what I could do. And, back a bunch of years ago, it was about, the battle and, who was the best dancer at the club. So before I was really, in the clubs to pick up the women, or to drink or, or to turn up, it was really all about dancing. So, I mean, I'm a true hip hop head, from the start. And, I started in b-boying, on a cardboard box, when me and my brother were like 3 years old.
I remember those days.
I have a twin brother and we, we had our big boom box, bumping, Ice-T, or, one of the, old school groups from back in the day. And dancing was just a part of the party aspect. So it's like, I love going out, and now that my music is bumping in a lot of places, it's actually a lot more fun. I'm enjoying that, that little bit of a buzz when I walk into a place and they're like, "Oh, you're Jopaul." Don't get me wrong. Sometimes I still get carted at the door and they have no idea, who I am. And I'm saying, that's when I say I'm Pitbull. Don't you know?
Yeah, right. I was gonna say that a couple of people said, "Oh, you getting Pitbull on your show?" And I'm like, "No, that's Jopaul."
No, we got someone better. We got
we got Jopaul in the house.
But
and Jopaul, you hitting billboards. You have, like, how did that feel when you seen that one of your songs were, like, up there?
You know what? It's kind of, let's see. I guess I'm trying to create a good metaphor for what the feeling was like. The only thing that I could really equate that to is, you know, when you're sitting on like a train or like you're sitting on a bus and you see that really, really hot girl and you're like,
Yeah.
yo, she's out of my league and there's no way that she will talk to me or say yes. And you guys share that eye for just that second where you're like, I know that I can have it. That satisfaction, you know, was kind of, you know, it reached like a plateau point where it really was like all my effort has really come to fruition now, so I can celebrate a little bit of success. You know?
Right.
Oftentimes, you know, artists, you know, get, you know, too caught up in the moment of smaller accolades, but when something as big as that happens, it's like, okay, you know, people are actually taking notice now, and now it's actually working. And you know, Mom, Dad, I'm okay. Everything is gonna be all right.
All right.
Know, don't worry about it. And you know, we'll see what the future brings.
I'm right here right now looking at some of your videos and stuff, and looks like every single video I'm looking at, you're in a different location and the whole world. How does that feel to be traveling like that all over the place?
You know what? Traveling is a great aspect of this business. The good thing about not having like an 8 to 6 job or a 9 to 5 job that keeps me confined to one location is that my job is the entire world, and it really is my oyster.
Right.
So I can, you know, go out and, you know, pick gems and pearls from every place, you know, and gems and pearls being the locations of these exotic locations. And, you know, I'm very much, you know, like a hip hop head. So I kind of like the old school effect with, you know, black and white feel or graffiti backgrounds. But what's more appealing to the masses, according to my music, is to really show those locations that I do go and I do perform at. And it's very appealing because I'm selling a fantasy. It's like not everybody can do what I'm doing, you know, and you know, I'm blessed to do it myself. So I want to celebrate with my fans and show them, okay, I'm all around the world right now. I'm in, you know, Costa Rica, you know, performing and we're shooting a music video. We're going to shoot 2 music videos here, one at the beach and one in the clubs. And
what was your speaking about location, but what was one of your favorite locations that you'd be like, oh, I wish I could come back to this one?
Costa Rica.
Costa Rica?
Yeah,
what about it?
Shout out to the people of Jaco Beach, Costa Rica. If you could imagine a place that prides themselves on never having a world conflict with anybody, like they're all about peace. They have an expression called pura vida, well, you know, pure life,
right?
Which is they celebrate life there. Just a great place to be. The people were so nice. They treated me with a lot of respect, even though we were considered, you know, a dirty gringo, you know, down in those parts. But they accepted us and they respected our hustle. You know, we were there to, you know, work like 14-hour days, and they saw us, you know, moving, you know, in and out of the streets with our camera crews and, you know, with our extras and our peoples. And so when they saw us at the club, you know, at night, they gave us respect, and they were like, oh, we see you doing your thing. And so it was really cool. Met some really amazing people down there that, you know, lasting memories that will last a lifetime. So definitely, Jaco Beach, Costa Rica is definitely a place that I need to travel.
It's like the next video or somewhere down the line.
Yeah, somewhere down the line. I mean, I'd like to shoot a real big budget video. I mean, I'm an independent artist, so my budget is limited, and you know, a lot of people don't really like to explain that aspect of it, but it costs money to do this.
Oh, believe me, that's why some of the videos now they're doing it like 1 or 2 locations. They'll be in their room, or then they'll be outside in the front. You know, like they're making it look big, but it's just right there, which happens. But you know, speaking about independence, guys, again, I can't stress so much. His video is going to be going up on VidZone. Vote by watching the video and by clicking on vote. When you vote, click on him, because when we come back from the commercial break,
I win.
We're going to say, what did he win? Why are we voting? Well, stay tuned. I'm going to be giving the big announcement of why, and half of the people that are on this is waiting for this announcement to find out why am I doing this.
You know what, let's give them the spoiler. Ladies, you get a free lap dance from me.
There we go, just from Jopaul. And we're going to take a quick break, but we're not done yet. Jopaul is still going to be here, so we're going to take a quick...
You can't get rid of me.
Oh, no, he's going to be here for a while, but I know you guys will be like, oh, I just missed a video. What is he talking about? Well, guess what? We're going to play this video one more time. This is Jopaul. Let's get the party started.
Jopaul, Don Juan Entertainment. Yeah. having fun and being young. And I never, 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 never wanna grow up blazing places, old stages. You ain't never, never, never gotta throw up. We get it turned up. You see us going nuts. No time to fight these punks. We too busy just getting drunk. And the party's never done, even when we see the sun. By the time they close their club, one across the street just opens up. Like you ain't came to party, like you didn't get retarded. Now it's time to get this party started. Get this party started. Get this party started. Now it's time to get this party started. Like you ain't came to party, like you didn't get retarded. Now it's time to get this party started. Get this party started. Get this party started. Now it's time to get this party started. 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 Now it's time to get this party started.
Joe, and you just seen it. Now you understand why I was talking about Jopaul. Get this party started. This is the second time we played this, so the next time you got to go and vote. You got to go and vote. You got to go and vote. I'm just going to say that. But now that I got Jopaul here, before we continue interviewing, we're going to tell you why. The LDM Show has been doing events. We have the Music in the Gardens, which promotes every gender of music. We have Nothing But Woman. And then we have the Summer Bash, where it's for the kids. Well, now, for the first time ever, with the help, hopefully with a couple of sponsors, which I can't announce right now because we're still working on it. One of them is an office person for politics. The LDM Show is going to be doing their first independent music video awards. And it's not only going to be for videos, it's just going to be pure music with their crystal glass, red carpet, the whole 9 yards of the feel to make to make the people feel like they are the stars that they need to be. And these are only for independent music artists. So their songs will be on our app, their videos will be on our app, and you guys have to vote. Not just listen, vote. Because in March, we're going to be finding out who is the nominees of these categories. I know they're going to be talking about best video, best upcoming music, best Latin song. But so there's going to be different groups, but you guys got to vote, and that's how we find out who's on the top.
Okay, why don't we sweeten the deal? Even though I'm going to be a contestant in there.
Oh yeah.
Why don't we utilize the second place runner-up and give them a 60-day radio campaign on PAL1079.com, which I just basically signed a deal with them where I could offer an independent artist a chance to shine on a couple of radio networks. So,
there we go.
So you heard it here live.
You heard it.
Make sure that
we're gonna put that
those
up.
votes in for whoever. I mean, listen, even if you don't vote for me, vote for whoever artist you actually care about, and spread the word, because without word of mouth, people really ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, we're gonna be and watch out for the commercial. Is gonna be coming out soon. We're working on that. So it's gonna be a commercial. Right now, the Vid Zone is on the app. But right now they're working on getting more songs on there. So we're going to be announcing the app, I think, on Monday or Tuesday. And then you guys can take LDM Show wherever you go.
Exciting
and then you can
stuff,
watch,
man. Exciting.
You can watch Jopaul all day. Just keep on watching.
All day long. Keep on watching and watching.
But a lot of those things happen because everybody out here wants something different. So like I was telling you before, we always think ahead. What can we do besides bring these guys here and be interviewed and get them noticed outside in the world? I figured give them an award for something they're doing. Make them push them even harder.
Hey, that's a great thing right there. And it's an accolade that they can actually take with them, and they can use it for however they wish. So, whether it's, total prestige or just, community-based award, it's still an accolade nonetheless to give independent artists some driving force, to push forward.
To push forward. And there is a thing called Underground Music Awards, but they mostly deal with hip-hop and stuff like that. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to do like an Emmy type of thing where it's, it's going to every single person.
You know, multi-genre, and it's good. It's good that you open the platform to a lot of different artists, because when you single out one particular genre, the type of talent that you're going to get is kind of limited.
Yeah, so, and then you lose maybe a talent somewhere in there where it could have been found.
Exactly.
You know?
I mean, there's a place for every artist to get in, and there's a demographic for their music to be exposed to, and the only way to really be, able to win it is to be in it. So it's a great thing.
Like I said, again, it's the first ever annual, so this is every year now. Okay. Before, when I first did the Music in the Gardens, I did the first one. I'm like, I don't know if it's going to come out good. Right now, we already just signed the deal to do the third one, and it's going to be closed streets, hopefully. We're working with NYPD right now to close the streets down, so it's going to be bigger than it was. And plus, we're moving the time to like 3 o'clock in the afternoon all the way to the evening. So now people can come out and party with all the singers, take pictures and stuff like that. So, and we started this 2 years ago, and look, we're getting big. So these awards.
Maybe we'll have a tarp next year that we could like put overhead so people can actually sit down and underneath some shade. If it is really hot, we'll at least give.
Well, hopefully by the time the singers come down, it's a little cloudy and everything, because that's why we're doing it towards 3 to 4 o'clock. So when the singers perform, it's pretty nice, and the only bother is you're gonna have these big bright lights, But hey,
that's what we're here for. We like those bright shining lights. Yeah, that's what we live for. We live to see those lights on us. So
that is good, though.
And bright lights help us shine, so it's good.
Yeah, and we had a lot of fun. But again, I'm here with Jopaul, shooting the breeze, letting everybody know we had just announced that LDM Show is gonna be having their first independent music awards. So check them out. And if you guys are independent and you got music, send it to us. Send your videos. We put it in. It doesn't hurt. If you don't get views, that's just no more than you got the last time. So it's not going to hurt you, That's right. And if you do get views, it's bringing you up. Even if you don't win, you get noticed.
Let me break that down for you. But before I even do that, everyone can follow me on social media at I am Jopaul. I got an album called Time of My Life, which is available on iTunes, Spotify, Pandora, Google Play, the whole nine. But really, if and when you don't get views, on whatever platform that you submit your video to, there's a thing called search engine optimization, where the more you are actually out there online, it creates more of a digital footprint for you. So the more you're out there, the better it is for you, regardless if your video is getting views or not, because in the grand scheme of things, in the algorithms of matrices, of the internet, you want to be as visible as possible, and the more things that you're on, the better it is for you, and you can promote it yourself, and you can help out the LDM Show, grow their fan base at the same time. So it's a learning process for everyone.
Oh, yes, it is. And again, you guys, if you're listening, 347-640-3920, call it in, talk to Jopaul, find out a little bit more about him. You probably have questions that I don't have, but you can ask them. But we already said about the music awards, so we're going to go right back to Jopaul, find out. Joe, a couple people just asked, one person just asked me, I said a couple, but one person, where were you raised at? That you have this swag type of thing.
New York, of course. Greatest city in the world, New York. I mean, I'm originally from Staten Island, but I'm a true New Yorker. So born and raised, and that's where I get my swagger from. That's where I get my style. That's where I get my love for music, and that's where I hang my hat when I go home. There's New York. So.
Wow, it's New York. But we were talking earlier, if you guys just logged in, this is Jopaul. We just showed this video. He said earlier you did b-boys and dancing and stuff like that, the cardboards. I remember those days, the milk cartons for the DJs and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
If you would not have done that, where do you think your life would have been at right now?
I was always an active kid, so I was it's tough to say because I loved sports. I love gymnastics, and I love dancing. So, I was a teacher for a bunch of years where I taught breakdancing, gymnastics, and cheerleading to a bunch of people. So, but everything is a derivative from each other, and everything, is almost like a domino effect. The path that I led down, and being an artist, they don't call it a starving artist for nothing, because I've had a whole bunch of odd jobs where, and some of them I've actually excelled at. Like I was an AVP for JP Morgan, for 8 years.
Wow.
Where I ran the business division for a large portion of New York. So I get a lot of my business sense, from corporate training. It also gave me the drive that I never want to do that ever again.
Wow.
And music is my passion. And whereas I love to help people, in business, it's better that I help myself, basically enjoy life. And it's fulfilling to some people. It just wasn't, it was a steady paycheck for me and a means to an end for killing my passion for doing music. So, and I thank my boy DJ Sarome every day. Back in 2009 when I had left the music business in like 2005 for a personal reason, and I got a call 4 years later, and he was like, "Yo, I just set up the studio in Jersey City. Why don't you come take a crack at it? I know you know how to do your thing, because I've been recording for years."
Right.
So went there, and I just got bit by the bug, and from there
it just kept on
going. And I was still in the hip hop industry back then, and it really was up until a bunch of years later that I got discovered by Dominic Damwan Durham, who's the owner of DWE or Damwan Entertainment.
Right.
He's the former music director for Flow Rider and used to work for Rodney Jerkins, and he's got a whole bunch of accolades, and I could sit here and brag about him all day long. But he's a great guy, best musician in the world. But he discovered me and said, "Hey, listen, I see what you're doing over here, and you kind of can tweak it like this, and I got this banging production that your lyrical content would just smash the universe with." So it's all an evolution, of things that you do that kind of, sculpt you, into the person you are today. And I always say, I'm wrapping it up, don't worry. That to regret any decision that you've made in the past is to really not appreciate or be happy with the person you are today.
Now.
Or
that is so real.
Or have the ability to be happy tomorrow. So, so everything plays a factor. And I don't know, to really answer your question, I don't know what I'd be doing. Maybe I'd be a librarian or something.
Right.
Who knows? If music was, I can't see life without music. I can't,
Which is good, but it's true what you say. We always say, they always ask me, if you would have changed something in your life, what you would have changed? I'm like, your question. Yeah. Because I would not change nothing else. Because everything that I did got me
the butterfly
here.
Effect.
And, we always say you have to appreciate, like you said, appreciate what you had before, because that's what got you here now. And then what we're going to have you in the future.
Learn from your mistakes, but you can't, you can't really regret them because it kind of shaped the person you are. Today. And you build off your past experiences, and you have to embrace, don't embellish.
Okay. And like I said, there's a couple of videos here. All your videos hits thousands and thousands, of views. When you see something like that, how I know it makes you feel good inside and everything, but do you ever kick yourself and said, I think I could do better, and try to do?
Until that. And I'm going to give you the most honest answer that an artist could possibly give you. Until that big paycheck really comes onto the table,
right?
I'm always trying to strive to do better. In life itself, it's all about competing with yourself rather than your peers, or and setting some realistic goals that you can achieve. And if you don't, it's okay. As long as you that, just like that line from Rocky, it's about, how many times, it's not how many times, you get knocked out. It's about how hard you get hit and how many times you get back up. So I always strive to do better and better, and I look forward to my latest release, which is called Time of My Life, which is the title track off of my album, Time of My Life, available on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play. Hey, listen, I got to market myself, because this is how I pay
That's how you do it. That's how you do it.
Bills. So, however many people are listening, I encourage you, spend $1.19 and buy one song. Okay, I promise it will not break your bank.
There you go.
But we expect that the Time of My Life video that is going to be released probably within the next week is going to top all numbers that we've ever done. So got some creative campaigns that me and my radio networks have structured to promote it. Have a whole bunch of sites that are hosting it. Blasts and promotion, out the wazoo. It's really about how you can consistently structure your video promotion campaigns to get those views. And
hey, you guys gotta look out for that.
Gotta work for it.
That week, that song coming up next week. So look out for that one too. But again, it was nice having you here.
Thank you.
we normally do 12 minutes, but I had to have Jopaul here a little bit longer. You know, time flies so fast.
That's my fault. I talk a lot.
No.
And I got a lot to say. And we're having a conversation. This ain't even an interview. We're just having
a conversation, and that's what it's all about. So that's a good thing. But check out his video and the upcoming video that's going to be coming. But mostly, just go to his YouTube page and check out all his videos, and then you wonder why the LDM Show bring him here and wanted to have him on the stage with us, which he did. And you know, it's a good story because one thing you said, what is your event about? You know, I like that when you sent me that email and I told you, he said, oh, okay, that sounds like a good event. I'll be there.
Absolutely.
You know, and he did. He came and he blasted, and then he came on our show today. So again, Jopaul, thank you. And this is not the last time we're going to see each other.
I'm coming back more and more. It doesn't matter how famous I get. I will always show grassroots love to everybody that's doing it. And Charles, thank you so much. And all the people at the LDM Show for even giving a platform for artists to do what they do. So salute, my brother.
And again, get that vote in. Get that vote. You know, March will be here as soon as you know. You know, it's a couple of months from now. So
that's right. Go. Don't worry about Trump. Don't worry about Hillary. Vote Jopaul's video.
There we go.
The only voting you should do.
This is the LDM Show. We'll be right back. The LDM Show has a lot of spin-offs. We had the WTF moment, we have Speak Out, Teens View, and we have Will's Review. But people were asking me, who the heck is Will? So I had to bring on my show so we could find out who is Will, and you know, I know who he is. But ladies and gentlemen, here he is, Will Davis from Will's Review. He's in the house right now. So, you know, like I said, I had to bring you on. People want to know what you're about, how you do, you know, and how you got here to have Will's Review. But first of all, where you from? Tell them where you're from.
I'm born and raised in the Bronx. Well, I can't really say raised in the Bronx. This is where I've slept. You know, I'm.
What, in the streets? Or, you know?
No. Like my family, you know, we're over here in the BX, but my mom's side of the family is who we spend a lot of time with. And you know, they grew up in Harlem. You know, they still at my grandma's place, so I grew up in Harlem a lot. I went to school in Midtown Manhattan most of my life. So, you know, I'm from Manhattan and the Bronx. I claim both. You know, my summers were in the BX because I play ball everywhere. But that's about it.
But now you'll be like all over the place. So,
yeah, I'm everywhere.
That's a good thing. You started with us, what, 2013 or 14 around there?
Yeah, 2014. First event was Mama's Hip Hop Kitchen.
Yeah. Oh my God. If you guys will ever see us together that day, it was a chicken without a head.
It really was. It was just the two of us doing everything.
You know, from audio, video, interviewing, lights.
We had to get the performers on stage, behind the stage. We had the crowd upstairs. And
so it was crazy with two people running around. So that day we were like hosts, engineers, light, videos. We were everything. But since that day, we watched the journey going about. Personally, I seen them grow. And as he's been watching me, he's been learning here, learning that. We had to give him a show. There was no doubt. And I'm going to tell you the story of how he got the show. I just said, hey, how you doing today? He was like, hanging out. I'm good. All right, we're coming to the studio. Put him down. We're going to do WTF moment. He said, all right. Ain't you coming down? I said, no, it's all you.
All me. I was like, what are you doing?
Like, it's all you. I'm in the background. And then he did the WTF moment. But I'm a person that watches and analyzes stuff. As you were doing the WTF moment, I'm like, I'm thinking something different. And I kept thinking something different. And then one day, hey, I got a show for you to do, Will's Review. Let's go.
Yeah, and then we just went with it.
And we just went with it. And ever since then, you've been doing it. But one person asked me, which I will ask you as well, what would make you an expert on reviews of movies and stuff like that?
Well, I mean, the fact is this, right? I've gone my entire life watching a lot of movies, old movies, new movies, you know, stuff that most people don't look into. I have the Netflix and this and that. I watch a lot of movies, a lot of television. And one thing that's always bothered me, especially come award show season, is that a lot of fan favorites are never there. Like, I like to look at movies, I like to look at television shows, not just from my personal point of view, right? I like to take the average person's point of view. I like to take, you know, some like different perspectives when I watch stuff.
Right.
Because it's just like, sometimes I'm like, this show isn't for me, but I can always tell my friend, like, you know, you might like this because you're more into, like, let's say monsters, or you're into this because, like, you know, it's more gossipy, it's dramatic. You know,
Right.
like, I'm not a Scandal fan, but I can definitely point out a person who is, that sort of
Okay.
thing. And when I look at movies that way, that's why sometimes when I get my reviews, I'm just like, look, if you're a person who's very critical, whatever, you're not gonna like this movie. But if you're someone who just enjoys, like, the entertainment factor, like, you know, maybe there's a silly character in it or this,
Right.
whatever, like, you know, you definitely know when you watched a bad movie, but you can tell if you enjoyed it, because they're really corny comedies and stuff like that, but a lot of people enjoy these things. Like, there's a reason why they do all these random, like, Valentine's Day or Christmas Day, Mother Day mashup movies, because there's a market for it. Hollywood doesn't waste its time with these things.
Right.
So you have to evaluate it as in, could it win an award? Is it really worth your time? Is this something that, you know, like, everyone's going to talk about? Or is this just for, like, a certain group of people? And I try to find the worth in it, no matter how bad or good it is. So that's where I consider myself an expert, because I'm pretty good at doing that.
And there you go. See, so now that answers all your questions of why you need to watch him and understand the movie concept. But you don't only do movies.
No.
What else you do
I
on
do
your show?
TV reviews. I do sports reviews. I try to do a review on what's going on in pop culture, the news, that sort of thing. Kind of give my perspective and take on what's happening. I try to keep things more positive than negative, because a lot of the news is negative. That was kind of why I joined with LDM in the first place. You know, we were trying to focus on the better stories
the
of
positives,
the city.
yeah.
So I try to bring the positive news. You know, that way you can see what's going on. I like to tell people when there are certain events happening in the city, because one thing I've always heard growing up in New York is there's nothing to do here. And it's just like, no, get about the hood. Like,
Yeah.
that's all there is.
There's a lot to do.
It's not always in Manhattan. It's not always in the Bronx. It's not always in Brooklyn. So sometimes you have to take that 275 and make it go all the way to a different borough.
Oh, man, well, I remember, we went as far as Queens, you know, in the
Queens.
trains, almost an hour and a half to 2 hours to get some good stories, so.
Yeah, I mean, one of my old jobs was literally knocking on people's doors, right?
Right.
And that takes you all across the 5 boroughs. Now, before that, I was hesitant to go different places, but I've taken train rides, bus rides, walked as deep as, like, the edge to Long Island and the bottom of Staten Island. And when you come from the Northeast Bronx, everything's like a 2.5 hours like that.
Yeah,
So
that is true.
once that happens, you're kind of good with it. You take 4-hour 4 trips to Boston like I do, and everything else is relevant.
Wow.
So.
You know, Will's review came out. It's been doing good. Like, people are saying, like, okay, what's going on? We sat here. One thing, and I can say nice and proud, one thing about Will, we worked together hand in hand, conversations. There was a couple conversations, 12 in the morning. Sometimes I'll be like, hey, I got an idea. Okay. Or I'll text, email. So we do a lot of keeping up in front of everything that's going on, technology-wise and everything else. How does all that fit into your personal life?
I mean, my personal life is crazy. I got a lot of little projects going on. You know, my day job, I do stuff with 32BJ Union. I have my own little, like, my YouTube stuff. So, like, I'm always doing something. But in all honesty, unless anything involves my family, like, you know, birthday stuff, if I'm going out to go see family in other places, like, I try to always at least keep my phone available to hit up anybody, talk to anybody. Like, my friends know they can text me anytime. It's like, I may not answer you right away. I'm always doing something, but I'm gonna get back to you. And, you know, especially with everything being on social media, like, if anyone, you know, follows the LDM page, the Will's Review page on Facebook, I'm usually trying to post up stuff, funny things, movie things.
And they actually, him and my wife is the ones that put up everything on our Facebook and answers for me sometimes. And some of the videos I'd be laughing like, oh, snap. Because I don't see them until you log on your own page, log
right.
on. So
especially
it's
my Instagram, I know now my Instagram is for the 18 and up club, but
right.
But as I always try and put the funniest stuff on my Instagram that I find from all over the web. Like, if you ever look at my Instagram, it's probably gonna take you about a good day before you find a picture of me on it. I'm not a selfie person. I'm always just posting up memes.
It is gonna change, but just like me, I didn't want to do that until we got the new person in charge that she's like, no, you got to take pictures, you got to take this, you got to do that. But your hat, Transformers,
right?
Why many times I know why, but the fans want to know why Transformers or why anything,
So,
remotely to that.
Pretty much, I have 3 mainstay hats right now. There might be more, there might be less, depending on the season. But I have my Autobots hat, I have my Joker hat, and I have my Giants hat. And pretty much, if the Giants win, most of the week I wear my Giants hat. If they lose, I got my Joker hat. Because somebody played a cruel joke on me. And then my Autobots hat is just because Autobots is one of those things like Dragon Ball Z, the shirt.
Right.
Where like anyone, anywhere, whether they're a geek or not, they kind of understand that you are. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, at some point in their time, they were a fan of it, so it's something that it brings conversation. Like I'm somebody that walks around with the Game Boy all the time.
Right.
Half the people I met in my life, it wasn't because I started a conversation with them. It's because I was off in my own little world, my headphones in. Because anyone who knows me knows, always have my headphones in, and I'm playing my Game Boy, and I'm wearing something different. And somebody's just like, "You're into that too?" And at first, I'm just like, "Why is this person pointing at me?" But that's usually half the people I've become friends with my entire life. That's how things have started. So in some way, I like to always represent that I'm a geek. Right. And it's kind of like a sign for other geeks to come over, and because I grew up, and I feel it's less and less now because geeks and nerds are more pop culture, more like mainstream culture these days. But I grew up in a time when you were a geek, you were picked on, and you were a nerd, you picked on. And I mean, it still happens, but it's always nice to show someone like, yo, you come from the same place, that sort of thing. Then you get into your arguments about, is Naruto better than Bleach, or is Goku better than Vegeta, and all that. Then that's when the friendship ends.
Half our conversations are like that.
But at first, it's all love. So.
Yeah. It'll be funny because if you guys actually, hopefully our app is going to come out. We're trying to work a bug out on bringing you guys behind the scenes when we're closing it. And you'll see some of the arguments we have. Marvel versus, DC. We have all these arguments. And when you see us outside, you don't think we're having conversations like that. But behind the scenes, we're having those conversations a lot. And in every movie that comes out, we watch.
We have the funniest conversations when we should be talking business.
I know. It's so funny. It's like we forget we're filming and we get into this conversation of Marvel and DC. And then we're like, oh, we got to go back in the air. And it's like, we go right back with no problem.
Exactly.
We've been doing it for years, and like we always said, we go with the changes. Whatever changes happen, you have to go with it. You're noticing now towards the winter, it's not that many good movies going on. Is there anything different you're going to be doing on your shows? Well,
here's the thing. Actually, there are a lot of good geek movies coming out. You're not going to have as much of the action thrillers, although they are doing Underworld and Resident Evil heading into the colder weather. So for those of you who've been fans of those series, those of you who, like just like a good action, they're killing monsters, they're fighting stuff kind of thing, that's coming out. But you're going to have the Star Wars thing coming. Okay. Doctor Strange is coming. Mm-hmm. Wonder Woman, Batman.
Black Panther.
Yeah. I mean, just at the end of this month, for those of you who have Netflix and those of you who should maybe try it, they're doing Luke Cage because the Marvel TV universe is TV and Netflix. So, there's a lot of stuff coming towards the winter that people can look forward to. Honestly, right now is horror season. Every fall is. Yes. So going into Halloween, we're going to get a lot of good horror movies. I recently saw a bad one, but I'm not going to get into that. But
I guess you got to log on to Will's review to find out about which one he's talking about.
Exactly.
And then again, Will's review is every Wednesday from 5:30 to 6:30. And then next week, I know we were supposed to, because my friend even asked me, what happened to Shut the Hell Up?
Well, there was a Shut the Hell Up this week, but it was an impromptu one. I'm not sure I want to do Shut the Hell Up every week.
It's something give and take, right? You got to tune in. Shut the Hell Up is another thing that we just sit there and we be like, hey, we're going to do something different.
Exactly.
And it popped up and it worked. And just like today I did Speak Out, because someone complained why I don't do Speak Out. But I guess they didn't hear that Speak Out is just for, certain occasions. And on Tuesdays, I do a little 30-minute Speak Out. So I'm like, it's not every day, but I had to get, some stuff out. So it's not all the time.
For the fans, right?
Yeah.
We love our fans. So we do it for
you. And again, y'all tweet, text, inbox, whatever you want to do, we do answer. Even if it's not me personally, someone is going to answer. It
does get answered.
We have the good ratings. It says an hour to 2 hour rating answer. And the only reason is because someone text us, inbox us during a Saturday event, and we couldn't get them on time.
Exactly.
So that screws us up. But
if you go on Will's Review on Facebook, I will answer in the evening. I will tell you that because I do have a day job. So.
Yeah, and not only during the rest of the time, you're basically looking at stuff to do for the show.
Yeah, but I can be on Facebook while I'm watching something on Hulu. It's okay.
There you go.
I don't mind. It'll tell me you got a message, and I'll just answer it real quick and go back to unpausing my episode.
And besides Will's Review, you have a little project of your own. Explain a little bit about that.
So on YouTube, I have this thing called Danger Mouth, and again, this is for the 18 and up club. But it's in its baby phase right now. It's me and my friend Calvin, who he joined on the project, and it's pretty much two characters who are kind of doing these vlogs for their therapy sessions. So I'm doing casting for that right now. I'm looking for a female who would be willing to be the therapist and a female who would be willing to be the counter Danger Mouth, because my character is this very angry, misogynistic guy from the hood.
Right.
And you find out over the course of time why they're in therapy. But that's part of what the therapist is there for, to kind of explain the background of why every character has their unique quirks. There's a character who he's paranoid about different things. He's not even in New York. He had to find a New York therapist because he figured it was such a major city that no one would care about what truth he's talking about the government and things like that. So yeah, it's one of those kind of things. And I got some friends on board, and it's just it's hard to cast females for like a darker comedy kind of thing, I find.
Are you looking for that sexy female, like the Atlantic teacher?
I don't even care if they're sexy, to be honest. I want them to just be funny and crude. And that's
there you go.
So women, if you have a crude side to you, I don't care if you want to call it ratchet, if you want to call it hood, whatever you want to call it. But I want someone who has the ability to be bold and blunt and isn't shy about it.
Okay.
That's what I'm looking for. Black, Latino, white, whatever. It doesn't really matter. Someone who just has that charisma. Because if you watch it, and you can YouTube Danger Mouth 92, and you can watch some of the stuff, like, I go there. I will say the things that no one wants to say about stuff. And it's not what I truly believe, but my character is, again, this really blunt, true, angry guy. And if I'm going to act, I've done off-Broadway before as a kid.
Right.
I've been on Sesame Street or whatever. So acting is nothing new to me. And, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to do something where we could talk about...
Hello and welcome back to the LDM Show. I've come out to close today. We had a good day today. We had the Speak Out, Jopaul. We had Will's Review out in here as well, talking. So everything was a fulfillment day. And Jose, hopefully he'll be back next week. He was doing a lot of modeling today and photos and getting his little interview testing going on. So he'll be here next week. Shout out to him as well. But again, we are going back to the old school of the LDM show, hitting the streets and everything else and ramping about new stuff. One more thing, music awards. The first LDM music awards coming out in March. Oh my God. If you want to be a sponsor and everything like that, let us know so you guys can do great stuff. Jopaul, thank you for coming today and giving that shout out of the person that wins and the second place winner as well. He added that as well. And we're also talking about sponsorships on a radio station. So there's going to be a lot of awards for people that win. And there's a certain awards that, you win certain things, but everyone will win one of the great trophies. I will probably mid-April or something, we'll reveal the trophy. We'll reveal, not a trophy, but the plaque. And I think it's going to be a crystal. But hey, that's what we're going to do here. LDM Show is always here and blessing it. Again, shout out to Leroy Entertainment. Leroy Entertainment again, Young Truth, and all of them for thanking me for having me there. Corey Feldman, again, thank you for letting me sit with you and talk about the breeze and how you started dancing to Michael Jackson and all that. That was a cool little talk we had. And I'll see you soon again. So he's going to probably be on Speak Out. Who else is going to be on Speak Out? Bronx Borough President Ruben Diaz is going to be on Speak Out. So, and when these guys are on Speak Out, we're talking not politics, not everything. We're talking about them, how they hanging out, how they doing, and everything else. So to see them in a different light, especially, that you see him every day on TV, you're like, oh, wonder what these guys are about. Well, you're going to see. In Corey Feldman, you'll see basically how he is outside. He's pretty cool. Sorry, I couldn't drink. He was like shocked that I don't drink, but he offered me like 4 or 5 times. I guess since he was drunk, he probably forgot that I don't drink. But anyway, it was a cool day here at the LDM show. This is another week gone bad because we have to end. That's the only problem. That's the bad part about it. We have to end. If only we had like 24-hour LDM show. I don't know, right? But then that would be getting bored, though. One day, never know. I mean, we sleep and then wake up. Oh, my bad. I was online. Hey, you never know what can happen here. Maybe we have a marathon, something to raise money. There's a lot of things we talk about that we don't know until we figure out. But anyway, this is Charles Laloma. This is the LDM show. We'll be back next week with a couple more performers and a couple of announcements. Like we have an October thing going on. We have sponsorships that we're doing. So we'll talk about it next week. Again, we'll see you in 7.
Hey, you've been watching the LDM show? Let us know what you think about this episode. Hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. We value your opinion, so please let us know.